Hello, my dear class 7 students. This is your science teacher, Ben here. Okay, so we are in the journey of the food, the digestion of human, right? So we have already started the journey. We have started from the mouth, and then all the swallowing has been done, and we have reached the stomach part, right? So today we'll be discussing about digestion in humans' stomach part. Clear? But do you remember we have a story, the discovery of stomach, which is mentioned in your text. Okay, so we'll start with a story. Clear? So this story is mentioned in your text, and this is a very interesting story. It's a real story because this is a story about the discovery of the working of a stomach. Clear? So in 1822, clear? In 1822. In the year long back in 1822, there was a man, okay, a man named Saint Alexis Martin, okay. His name was Saint Alexis Martin. So what happened to him? He was hit badly by a shotgun, okay, and it seriously damaged his chest wall, okay. The chest wall was damaged, and it led to a hole in his stomach. So see. So example, I will just show you here. So if this is his stomach, then it made a hole in the stomach. Clear? So he was brought to a doctor, okay, an army doctor, an American army doctor, that is William Beaumont. Okay, William Beaumont. So William Beaumont, he was able to save Saint Alexis Martin's life. He was able to save his life. But what he couldn't do was he wasn't able to fill this hole. Clear? There was still a hole left in the stomach. So he just thought something like amazing idea. He thought of something interesting. Now everyone, we know how we assume how our stomach functions, but he thought that it was a very good opportunity for him to see in reality how the stomach functions through this hole. So he had an amazing discovery, okay, an observation. So after he observed the working of the stomach, it was all about the food inside the stomach was all churning, okay, and he observed the juices producing inside the stomach, all the juices like digestive juice. So he had an amazing discovery, okay, and so this story is mentioned in your text, so you can have a look, okay. Okay, so now we'll study in details what happens once the food reaches the stomach. Clear? Okay. So before we start with the working of the stomach, let's discuss the facts about the stomach, okay? The stomach, do you know the stomach is the biggest part of the alimentary canal, clear? And it is, okay, so it is a thick wall, it's like a bag, okay, where we can feel anything. So now, okay, so this is just a rough diagram. So we started our journey from the mouth, oral cavity, right? And then it goes down, and then here we have the food pipe. And then here, this is a rough stomach here, okay? Okay, it's a flattened J shape, okay. So now, the food has already reached the stomach. So what happens is that our stomach is a muscular organ, okay? Stomach in human is a muscular organ, and it is extendable, okay? When I say extendable, it means that it is stretchable, okay? So inside the stomach, there are some juices. You'll see there are secretions of juices. So we'll see inside the stomach, there will be a secretion of acids, okay? This HCl is hydrochloric acid, clear? Even inside our stomach, there's a production of acid. Do you know that? Okay, now the second thing that we can see is there's a secretion of digestive juices, okay? And the third thing that you will see inside the stomach is mucus. Clear? So you have to know this. Inside our stomach, there's a secretion of hydrochloric acid. There's an acid inside a human being. Clear? Stomach. Now, the second thing is you'll see there's a production of juices, digestive juices. And the third thing you'll see from the wall, from the inner wall, you'll see there's a mucus. Clear? And we'll see all their functions one by one. Clear? Okay. So once we take the food, okay, after from the mouth and then after chewing, we know that our once along with the food, we also consume a lot of microorganisms, right? There will be a bacteria inside the food. So once this, the food and the bacteria, they reach the stomach, it can be harmful for us, right? So the acid, HCl acid, hydrochloric acid, this is a very strong acid, okay? So this acid, which is produced inside the stomach, kills the bacteria. Amazing, right? So the bacteria that is mixed with the food and which after reaching the stomach, since it can be harmful for us, so the hydrochloric acid, which is produced inside the stomach, kills the bacteria. Clear? Okay, and not only that, but along with killing the bacteria, it also activates an enzyme. And the name of that enzyme is pepsin, okay? Pepsin, P-E-P-S-I-N, pepsin, which further helps in breaking down of protein. Clear? Okay, so now before we talk about the digestive juice, have you observed, see, we can't be like dogs or our pets at home. They can eat anything from the floor. They can eat anything from the ground, right? But if we cannot imagine ourselves, human beings doing like that, right? But nothing happens to them, even if they have something from the floor, from the ground, but nothing harmful happens to them unless they have something like poisonous. Clear? So why? The reason is that the acid, they also have an HCl acid inside their stomach. Even your pets at home, they'll have an acid inside their stomach. Clear? But the acid which the animals have is very, very, very strong compared to humans. Clear? That's why they can have anything just random from the ground, but nothing happens to them because it has been killed by the acid, okay? HCl acid. So I'm sure you'll remember this HCl acid, that is hydrochloric acid. Clear? And we also, the HCl acid which we have inside our stomach is a strong acid, but comparing with the animals, it's not very strong. Clear? Okay, so now let's talk about these digestive juices. Clear? These digestive juices helps in breaking down of the nutrients, okay? Breaking down of the proteins into simpler one. Okay, now let's talk about this mucus, okay? This one, now inside the stomach, you'll observe that there will be an inner lining. There will be a lining here, okay? There will be a wall lining. So now this mucus plays a very important role. Why? Because you have seen that our stomach produces acid. Wouldn't it be harmful for the stomach? Right. So mucus helps and protects our stomach. Clear? Because there is an acidity there. There is an acid inside our stomach. So this mucus, it protects our stomach. It protects the stomach. And this mucus, it forms a layer, okay? It forms a layer here, and it is produced from here. It is secreted from here, and it protects our stomach. So this mucus plays a very important role. Clear? But now, sometimes people, or you can, even it can happen to you, sometimes people, they get acidity inside the stomach. Why? What happens when there's an acidity inside the stomach? So the main reason is, okay, I'll just put it in a very simple way. If you don't have a food for a long time, okay, for a longer period of time, what happens is that there's no food inside the stomach, right? It's empty. But we are designed in such a way that now there will be juices will be producing, then now you'll see acid is producing. So now acid, juice, and all is they are producing here, but there's no food. So it can harm the mucus layer. it can harm this layer, it can harm our stomach, because now there's no food, so this acid and all, these digestive juices and all, they will just harm the stomach. No food inside, empty, what they will do, they'll just harm the stomach. So in this case, it can lead to a gastric ulcer, clear, which is very dangerous. So I'm sure now you are all aware and familiar with all the names and all the juices, like all the secretions, and how our stomach functions. Clear? So in this stomach, there will be a partial digestion. Okay, the complete digestion does not take place here, just the partial. The complete digestion will take place in the next step. And now our journey, the stomach is over. From the oral cavity, we have swallowed the food, it has gone down to the food pipe. Now the food is received by the stomach, and here the juices, we have seen all the functions of the HCl, the digestive juices and the mucus, and now the partial digestion has taken place, and the next journey would be in the small intestine, because see, the end of the stomach here will lead to the beginning of the small intestine. Now we'll see digestion in human in small intestine, okay, which will be again very interesting. So the small intestine will open from here, okay, right from the end of the stomach. Next would be small intestine. So the small intestine is here. It will be something like this. Okay. Okay, so student, now we'll start with digestion in human in small intestine. Clear? Now the stomach part is over, right? Now it's about small intestine. Now it's a largely coiled, okay? Now small intestine, it's a highly coiled. Now see, do you remember I said that all the digestion takes place in the alimentary canal, and it's about 9 meters long, right? So this small intestine is 7.5 meters long. Clear? That means this is the longest part of the alimentary canal. Do you imagine this is 7.5 meter long coil is the small intestine. And here the digestion will take place, all the breaking down will take place, and we'll discuss everything one by one. So the same thing here, the stomach receives, in the stomach we have seen some juices, right, it's secretion. So even in the small intestine, you'll see a secretion from the liver, and you'll see a secretion from the pancreas. Okay? Okay. So the liver is located. Liver is the largest gland, okay, in our body. The largest gland, keep this in mind, is the liver. It is reddish brown in color. Clear? Reddish brown in color. It is reddish brown in color. Largest gland, where it is located? It is located right in the upper right of our abdomen. Okay. Okay. So now this liver secretes a bile. Okay, a bile juice, which is received by the small intestine. So from the liver, what do they produce? They produce a bile juice. Clear? They secrete this bile juice, and it is received by the small intestine. And this bile, where are they stored? They are stored in a pouch like a sac-like structure, that is gallbladder. Okay, right here, gallbladder. Clear? So they are stored. The bile juice are stored in gallbladder, and they are sent where? They are sent here. They are received in the small intestine. Clear? And bile juice, what is the function of bile juice? See, we have while studying the component of food, when we take food, we also the food contains all the nutrients, right? So like the carbohydrate, protein, fats, right? So this bile juice helps in breaking down of the fats. Clear? The fats, it has to break down. If it doesn't break down, then we'll not get the energy, right? So now the food, the bile juice helps in breaking down the fats into fatty acids. Clear? Okay, now let's talk about this pancreas. Okay, pancreas is a cream color, clear, and it is located right below here. You'll see pancreas located here, below the stomach. Clear? Now, what do this pancreas secretes? Pancreatic juice, and it is sent where? In the small intestine. So we have two juices here. Liver, we have from the liver, it secretes the bile juice. From the pancreas, it secretes what? Pancreatic juice. Along with that, the small intestine itself, they produce their own juice, and the name of that juice is intestinal juice. So altogether, we have three juices here, right? One from the liver, that is bile. The second from the pancreas, it secretes pancreatic juice. The third one from the intestine itself, they secrete intestinal juice, and all together they will work, and then they will help in breaking down of food particle, the complex food particle, into simpler one. In that way, our food is digested. Clear? In that way, the food is digested. So now you know about the liver, its location, right? And then you know now about the pancreas, its location. It's located right below the stomach. And now you also know about the third juice, that is intestinal juice, which is produced like from the intestine itself. Clear? Okay, and this bile juice, the function of bile juice is very important, you have to remember, because it helps in breaking down, okay, breaking down of the fats. The fats which is there like in the food, okay, in breaking down into a simpler one, that is a fatty acid, okay. So I'll just write here fats to fatty acids. So keep this in mind, and the pancreas, it secretes like pancreatic juice. So all this will help in the breaking down of the proteins, okay, the proteins into a simpler one that will be in the form of amino acids. Clear? And then here we have intestinal juice. So now what will happen here? What breaking down will take place? Clear? The breaking down of carbohydrates into a simple one like sugar, okay? Sugar in the form of a glucose. Clear? So this is done. Now the breaking down of protein into a simple form like amino acids. Clear? Now the breaking down of the fats with the help of the bile juice in form of fatty acids. So now we have all the complex one has been broken down into simple one, right? So that means now the food like is being the digestion has already taken place, and the next thing would be absorption, right? Do you remember the Holozoic nutrition, where we started from the we started with the intake of food, right? And then we started with absorption. We started with digestion, and then the third one was absorption, right? So this absorption we will start in the next class. Clear? In the next class we'll complete our journey of the food, the digestion. Clear? So now the absorption is left, and then we'll after absorption it will be digestion. Clear? Digestion, and then the last journey ends at the anus, right? So we are left with the last portion, like the small intestine and the anus part. So we'll continue that in the next class. For now, you try to note down, you go through, you refer your textbook as well, because this digestion in human is very important. Till class 10 you're going to start, even in class 10 you'll study this in details. Clear? So you can just note down all the important points, and then you can practice, and we'll continue with the last part in the next class. Thank you so much.